Hey guys, welcome back to Kiwi Classics and Customs. Today we're going to start putting the AC in this green 65 Mustang we've got. So this is what the old stuff looks like, a bit nasty and crusty, and this is our nice new unit from Vintage Air. Vintage Air is my go-to for our AC. We'll just get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. It's my go-to for AC. They have a nice setup. It's pretty simple to install. They give great instructions, for the do-it-yourselfer. And yeah, I've had no trouble with them. They're reliable. They do what they're supposed to do. They run real cold. And yeah, it's one of the simpler kits out there. They've just been well thought out. And now, if you're one of these tough guy hot rodders that says, "Oh, I don't need air conditioning, I'll just wind the window down," well, we sell a lot of air conditioning here. And what I say to those guys that don't believe they need it, it's like, well, okay, maybe you don't. What about your wife? I tell you what, if your wife likes the car and she's not sweating it and makeup's not running down her face in summertime, she's going to be more inclined to come with you. And happy wife, happy life. We all know that, guys. So yeah, think seriously about putting AC in your hot rod. It does cost a little bit of money, but it'll come back to you in the way you use it, and it will come back to you in your resale value of your hot rod, because a lot of people buying hot rods now, they just expect to see AC in them. So there's a couple of us old school guys that, we don't need air conditioning, but we're a dying breed, guys. Anyway, we're going to start getting all this out of the boxes and getting it into the car. So we'll be back in a second. So as you can see, we've got the main heater AC box all bolted up in its final resting place, and it's looking pretty good. It hides behind the dash well. You'd see a little bit of the bottom of it, but really not much. We've got a bunch of ducting to run down to the feet and up to the demist area, as you can see there. In the meantime, let's get in the engine bay and see what we've been doing there. Okay, so once you've got the main old heater box out and the fresh air vent over on the driver's side, you have to put these caps on there because you block off the fresh air option. With the Vintage Air, you don't get fresh air, you just get cold air or hot air. So this is the little cap they supply you. You have to put a bit of sealer around here. And we use this 3M strip cork. You've seen us use this before. It stays flexible. Ideal for this job, and that just goes up underneath the dash there. We'll get that screwed in and quickly show you. And here's that little panel all screwed in. So yeah. All right, next we've installed this plate here. That old fan blower motor used to come through here. Now that we've removed the little heater box, that's gone. That leaves a hole in here with these bolts are where the 4 screws used to go in that held the blower motor in. So they go, Vintage Air supply you this little panel here with the 3 holes in it. That's for your AC lines to come through. The heater hoses use the original holes. So the other thing you do before you mount the new heater box is they give you a couple of templates like this. And what they do is line up over the studs that used to hold the blower motor in. And what it does, you've got a little point up here. Again, just read the instructions, it's all there. But yeah, you tape that on, locating it on the 4 holes. This is the site of your new hole, which you can see we've drilled in here. And there's a stud going to come through there from the new heater box. You've got another template. This one actually goes on the inside, and these 2 holes line up with the heater hose holes, and that actually goes on the inside and gives you your point over here for where your second hole has to go. A couple of studs will come through there, you bolt it in, and away you go. So now this heater box, the air conditioning HVAC box, is over here. This is the kit. Now what we have done on this before we started filming, we bolted in these brackets, this one, and you've got a bracket here as well that screws to the main HVAC box. Now all the hardware comes with it. These are the 2 studs I was just talking about back on the firewall. These are what's going to come through the firewall and anchor it to the firewall. we add these heater hoses. You see these do a pretty funky tight little U-turn back here to bring it out in the two original factory heater hose locations. These two are going to come through the other two holes that are in that panel where the blower motor used to be, and that will just, the firewall's going to be here, and that will just plug straight in. Yeah, you connect these up, do the bolts up. You've got a bracket here that also comes in the kit, which bolts to the box, and this screws up through the cowl section on the inside of the car. So let's get that up there and see how it looks. Okay, so we've been busy in the engine bay. Now, first thing you're going to see is we've got our heater hoses coming out here, and we've got our AC lines coming out here where the old blower motor used to come out through. So we've got one line run, we're going down and underneath the header and forward up to the dryer. We've still got another two lines to run from here up to the AC compressor, and from the core support back to the AC compressor. So now, as you can see, last time you saw it didn't have any of this on there. So Barry's been busy. We've got all the new timing cover on, new water pump, mounted all the front drive, the serpentine. This is a unit by March. It's not a bad little unit. It did give us a couple of little headaches, but we got there. And we've got a nice moulded hose going on here. This is the radiator you saw in the previous video. Its final configuration, and yeah, it's starting to look like a nice little jewel in the engine bay here. One thing we have to put on is this manifold. They call this a manifold. That's what your AC lines are going to go onto. This just drops onto here. That'll get nipped down. So then we've just got a short route to here, and another short one to here, and it's plumbed, and then we just got to wire it. So it's coming together nicely. Obviously, we've also, while we've been busy, we've got if you come around the front, Barry, you'll see the evaporator here, condenser, sorry, and the dryer. So yeah, that all, even though we modified the core support, this went in its, on its original brackets. We changed the layout here. Sometimes they have this dryer up on the inner fender. I try and keep that like a little less cluttered, and so it goes here. And yeah, so that'll hide behind we've got a grill obviously to come in here, and some spotlights and stuff like that. So it's going to be a nice car. So yeah. We've got a little bit more to do. We're going to get stuck into it, and we'll bring all that to you on part 2 of this video. Alright guys, in the meantime, don't have too many bourbons and beers, and hope you had a good Christmas, and hope New Year's good to you, and we'll see you on the next one.